Friday, September the 29th, 2023, and today I'm back down in Kent at Dover, about to undertake the approximate 10 miles to Deal, a walk I last did back end of August 2009. So one of the early walks that I did, 14 years on, massively in need of an update. It was wind affected and done on the mobile. There is a bit of a slight breeze today which may come across on commentary. It's coming from the west, which is why I haven't done this walk in reverse from Deal to Dover. I also think Deal is a better ending, to be honest with you. Not a great fan of Dover, so the quicker I get out of here the better. Decent sunny intervals this afternoon. I am running half an hour late today because of supposed non-industrial action. I mean, they've even got a train timetable now for non-industrial action. Absolutely unbelievable. ASLEF again, they're not on strike today but are tomorrow, and next week we've got the same scenario for the whole week. I mean, they're obviously earning too much, as I've said before. If they can afford to keep striking, holding out for as long as they have done, just reflects their massive pay packets, and as I continue to say, they're underworked. Let's get the railway network renationalised, back in a decent position, and if those that don't like being in the kitchen don't like it, they can clear off. Simple as that. It's my approach. I've been doing these films now for 15 years and the situation has not improved. So privatisation clearly doesn't work, albeit at Southeastern here, if my memory serves me right, is run by the government. Anyway, let's crack on, get away from all this whinging. It's 10 to 1, so as I say, I am running a tad late today, but should still have plenty of time to finish this before 6 and get back on the 1806 for my return journey. Station hasn't changed at all since I was here in 2009, and the Priory Hotel is still opposite. Interesting little bit of Dover history here. Possibly his former home, Dover Prep School now. Dover Castle coming into view. Obviously, because of the nature of this area, we passed 3 castles today. Passing the parish church of St Mary. Market Square has had a revamp since I was last here. These information panels are all new as well.
Let me get some.
Now going underground to the seafront and factory outlet, and another blue plaque here. Good stuff. Memorial here, just in front of the seafront promenade. God rest their souls. Another decent shot of the castle. Still has a tired feel about it. Here, the Royal Cinque Ports Yacht Club. Very drab and run down place. P&O vessel in dock. And there's our onward journey along the White Cliffs. And I certainly don't recall this memorial being here last time either. 2018, so no, it certainly wasn't here when I was last here. Tide is well in at the moment. UK's busiest port, Eastern docks by all accounts. What in though is questionable. There is apparently a bunker up there, or was, all part of the castle tour if you wish to visit it. So I filmed one of these last week up in March, NCN 63 if I remember correctly. This is number 1. And as you can see, Calais marked on there at 21 miles. 1196 to Inverness for those that are interested in a decent bike ride. And of course, back in 2009, the England coast path wasn't even thought of. Saxon shoreway was, which is what it's mirroring to a degree down here. Now going up East Cliff. Passing the terraced houses of Athol Terrace, which are very close to the base of the cliff here. You can see some old ventilation shafts up there. And of course, last time I did this walk, Dame Vera Lynn was still alive and kicking. God rest her soul. Now entering Langdon Cliffs. So finally leaving Dover behind us. And that lorry sums it up for me. Discord. There she blows. Another problem with doing the walk at this time of year from Deal is the low sun, obviously, would be in my face the whole way back. Once again, a shot of Dungeness, 2 weeks on. Irish Ferries and DFDS docking in a different port. Another good shot of the castle with its church. Or a church. Passing the White Cliffs Visitor Centre on my left, which, as you'd imagine on an Indian summer day, is very busy. And today you can clearly see the French coastline 21 mile away. Wonder how many dinghies are on their way here today. Sea is very still. Final view of Dover Castle and the church. Can't get the Roman stump referred to in the notes though, which was some kind of fortress. The yellow symbol of the England Coast Path National Trail. Lots of benches en route, which is good because there won't be any other form of respite today. for me. It's coming up 2 o'clock already, so I will be eyeing up a decent quiet one. And the visibility, as you can see, is pretty good today. That is France. Good views ahead of our onward journey. I've decided to take the vertiginous route, the one not recommended for those suffering from vertigo apparently. You can see how strong the waves are eroding this cliff base by the white surf down there. Well, not surf, but stirring it all up, look. Amazing. And this path surface is certainly very different to when I last did it. Wasn't like this at all. Now leaving the Trust's Langdon Hole, passing the Trust's Harbour Field. Now it's quite amazing, France is 21 mile over there, and yet I can't get a phone signal. As indicated in the walk notes, you switch, if you've got data roaming on, to a French network. So it says a lot about O2, I can tell you, bloody useless. The path I would have followed in 2009 is down below there, redundant kissing gate, and much closer to the cliff edge. I'm not sure when this new path was made. Certainly makes the going easier, I guess, in all weathers. Passing Fan Bay deep shelter entrance. There you have a bit of information about what it entails.
We got a deal for the flight, it was £1,000 each. But I'm going again in May on my own.
Another redundant gate down there, showing how close to the cliff edge it now is. A lot can happen in 15 years or 14 years. And this high path that I'm now on future-proofs the walk, I guess, for a few more years. Anybody's guess how long, mind you. South Foreland lighthouse, built in 1843, and this was the site of the world's first international radio transmission. Connections with a Marconi. Google that for more information. Information panel here about South Foreland Lighthouse. National Trust have a tea room there, which is why it's quite busy today and why I'm avoiding it. Well, I don't think I've ever seen it so clear. You can see the chalk cliffs of Normandy there. Amazing. So entering the Trust's lighthouse down, and I've just passed an old windmill, which unfortunately I couldn't get a decent shot of. There's a path here on my right, which is more cliff edge, but I think I'm going to stick with the main one for now, into St Margaret's. Information panel here about the Channel Dash. Quite amazing actually. God rest their souls. And for our French viewers. Yeah, all easily forgotten in today's society, but not by me. I think my generation are probably the last that have got a connection with the Second World War through our grandparents. Looking down at St Margaret's, there are a couple of seats here. It's 3:15, so lunch may well be taken now. Great vista. Yeah, I'll have lunch here, prepare myself for the ascent. So you've got to go down into the valley of St Margaret's there and climb back up towards that pinnacle over there. £127 up here. Quite a lengthy dedication on this seat, which clearly wasn't here when I was last here, because he died in 2019. (3:15), lunch has been had, and whilst having it I noticed the number of solar panels on these rooftops. Very good to see. They're ideally positioned, a lot of these properties, for having solar panels. And also, whilst having lunch, I came across this solitary tree in front of me, and couldn't help but think of that poor sycamore up in Northumberland on the Hadrian's Wall. Sycamore Gap. I mean, what kind of society are we living in where an individual goes to a very awkward place to get at with a chainsaw and brings down a 300-year-old tree? Absolutely shocking. Should be hung, drawn and quartered, that bloke, in my book. Just don't get it. Passing the Pines Garden Tea Room and Museum, which is open presently. So there you have it. And opposite you have this environment education charity place. All good stuff. Yeah, very nice. And just a reminder, a little bit about the Pines Garden. Passing the Coast Guard, the Shepherd Neame pub. What a cracking vista. Got the sun against me, but gives you some idea. Yeah, it is a very nice area. Decent little lunchtime stop down here as well. It was what I was aiming for, but time was against me after that half-hour delay with the trains. Onward journey now is up these steps, explore St Margaret's Frontline Britain Trail. More National Trust property. What a glorious afternoon it's turning out to be again, just like Hastings. Looking back over a very wooded St Margaret's Bay, which is why I like it. Who needs Salcombe, eh? Passing the obelisk, built to commemorate the seamen that died in World Wars I and II. That is the Bluebird's tea room, or was. I'm unable to answer the question as to whether it's still functioning or not. I'm pretty sure Google will answer that though. Now entering the Trust's Bock Hill farm. Glorious. Looking back whence I've come, towards St Margaret's, and as you can see, had I done the walk from Deal, it would have been pretty difficult to get any decent shots because the sun's against me. So right choice made, I think. Now, unlike at Hastings with its gorse, got lots of these shrubs. I'm not quite sure what they are, but there's hawthorn here for sure, and then this black-berried plant that I've never been able to work out. Seems to like chalky soil, because I've seen it up in the Chilterns as well. Yep, and I know I've asked the question before and answered it, but I still can't remember what it is. And as you can now see, the terrain changes and it levels off all the way to Deal now. And I must admit, the section of walking from the lighthouse, South Foreland lighthouse, has been far better. Fewer people around, less tourists, etc. So we leave the French coastline behind us now on my right as we head sort of north easterly away from it. It's around 200 foot here prior to descending. Approaching what is probably Deal golf course, I would imagine. Now on the wildlife front today, it's been very quiet. I've seen a few jackdaws, heard a few crows and gulls, seen a few swallows and a common lizard, which I nearly trod on and couldn't film. But aside from that, it's been pretty quiet really. So all this nonsense about getting back to nature makes me laugh. People understood the massive loss of nature that we've endured during the last, well, my lifetime. Unbelievable. There's just not the stuff out here that there should be. And you have to be of a certain age to appreciate that. So sad. Man's ruined the world. Really has. Something's creating some breakers out there. I'm wondering if that's the Godwin Sands. Certainly a sandbank of some description. Deal comes into view, and the golf course I passed was of course Walmer and Kingsdown, and I haven't seen Walmer Castle just yet. Good to see the Trust restoring these grasslands, Kingsdown Lees grasslands. Wonderful. Excellent work again by the Trust. Getting closer to Deal's stony beach. France still in the distance. Doing a bit of road walking now towards the Zealand Arms pub, because it's a bit easier than on the shingle. So passing a currently very busy Zetland Arms, as you'd imagine on a Friday evening. Passing a series of beach huts, and I do remember this section. Great section of wild beach here, and I notice that they've introduced some rocks to act as groins at certain intervals now. Don't recall them previously. A real interesting selection of properties on my left as I walk into Deal. Some have certainly been replaced since I was last here. And a bit like at Dungeness, the beach here is a bit like a desert. Great for wildlife. And now we go through a section with shingle on both sides. Passing Walmer Castle, W-A-L-M-E-R. Google that for further history. Of course, Julius Caesar is reputed to have landed at Deal. Research that if you're interested. Passing the lifeboat station at Walmer. English Heritage's Deal Castle here. Basking in the evening sun. Deal Pier. Now there's an optional extension of about 20 minutes into the old town straight ahead, but I'm going to take the left here at this roundabout up Broad Street towards the station, because I'm up against the clock and absolutely need to be on the 1806. Okay, 10.6 miles and 3 hours 55 later. Almost exactly the same time as 14 years ago, funnily enough. I'm filming this walk now, completing it at Ashford, because a late running train, in my favour this time, pulled into Deal almost as soon as I arrived there, which was rather handy. So I'm a half hour ahead of schedule going home. So very good. That was a very decent walk once again. Don't remember much of it. The section from South Foreland lighthouse onwards is by far the superior. The bit around Dover, not so good. But nonetheless, a very good walk on the Kentish coastline. Weather held out. Beautiful afternoon, Indian summer afternoon, almost October now. So that's book 2, walk, what is that, walk, I think it's walk 30, Dover to Deal anyway. I know Hastings was 28, so this could be 29 actually. It's been a long day, but anyway, it's completed. So until the next time, take care.